that's not what I wanted. We're gonna try and set this up. Scoop back. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my own personal tips and tricks on how I got into my Disney College program on the very first time that I applied. So basically this video is going to be tips and tricks for the application portion of the whole DCP application process. Then the next video, so next Wednesday, is going to be the web-based interview tips and tricks. And the following Wednesday is going to be the phone interview tips and tricks, all before the fall 2019 applications actually come out. So I hope that you find this video helpful for you. If you don't, I'm sorry. These are just what helped me get in. But yeah, let's get into the video. All right, first off, I do want to make a disclaimer saying that maybe these tips and tricks won't help you. I'm sorry if they don't. If they do, that's awesome. These are what helped me. But thought I'd put that out there before we got into the video.
I also want to say that this is how the application was for when I applied, so in the years to come, even fall 2019, the application could change at any part of it. So this is just what I did, and this is how my application was.
Alright, so I have my handy dandy notebook with me, and this is the whole first application process. On this side is the actual application process, so I will talk you through that, and then these are my two big long list of tips. So let's get started. So how the application process works is you start off with your basic information. So you submit like your name, your address, your phone number, email address, gender, race if you want. I think that's optional, but that's the basic first part. It's really easy and simple. The next part is your work experience. Now I have like 4 or 5 tips for work experience, so listen up. So the first tip that I found that really helped me personally was they have an option before the applications even drop on the dashboard to plug in your cover letter and your resume ahead of time. And I think that this really helped because when application time came around and I actually was filling out my application, all of my work experience was already in the application, so that saved me like a bunch of time of copying and pasting. So that's my first tip for you, is to submit it on the dashboard before the actual application. My second tip for you is on your resume to change up some words so that they are Disney keywords. So some of these Disney keywords can be like the 4 keys, so courtesy, efficiency, show, safety, stuff like that. You can also change to guests and attractions. Those were the like 6, I'd say, keywords that I definitely changed on my application. Again, this is a little controversial. I've heard some people get in with the Disney words. I've heard some people not get in with the Disney words. I tried to do it to help boost my chances. That's the word. Boost my chances of getting into the Disney College program. So what I would do is go over your resume and pick out the Disney keywords and replace them. Alright, so my next tip for you guys is to make sure you put down as much work or even volunteer experience that you can. I think that this definitely helps because it shows that you are a diverse worker, it shows that you are a hard worker, and it shows that you are willing to work, and that's the kind of people that they want. Definitely, if you don't have much work experience, especially if you're like coming out of high school and you're just starting college for your first semester and you're applying, this is what's going to help you to set you apart, having a lot more experience. So even if you don't have a job, make sure you put down any volunteer work experience you did. Some people in high school did like National Honor Society. Put down any kind of volunteer opportunities that you did with that onto your resume. All right, so my last tip for you guys is when you're filling out the work experience / your resume section of the application, my tip that I think was really helpful is compare the Disney description of some of the jobs to maybe some jobs that you've had previously. So for example, I worked as a hostess and I worked as a server, and I've also worked as a junior day camp counselor and a program supervisor. They're both in the same company, so that's 2 different companies, but they're just a higher level job from each other. So for my hostess position, I just kind of looked at the description for Cedar, and I kind of just like saw what was similar, and I saw like Disney lingo, and so I basically kind of just like took some of their role descriptions and applied it to my position as a hostess. Same with server, see what I could take from Disney and apply it to my own resume. And for my program supervisor, junior day camp counselor position, I took children's activities, and I took some of what they do with children's activities because it's really similar, and I just kind of like applied it to my own jobs that I did. I don't know, I thought this was really helpful, especially because I've never really done a proper resume before. I probably still haven't done a proper resume before, but this helped kickstart my resume. Those are all of my tips for work experience. Hopefully you found those helpful, but I'm gonna go on with the rest of the application process. So after work experience on the application, you fill out your education. So this is, if you graduated high school, what year you are in college, where you go, what is your major, and I believe when is your expected graduation year. So that's what you put down for education, and then you go to the next page, I believe, and you specify whether you would rather do the Walt Disney World program or the Disneyland program. You also have the opportunity to select both, and you just put down which one you prefer more. It also gives you, would you rather do spring program or the spring advantage program, and the same as with Disney and Walt Disney World is what do you prefer. So like I put down I only wanted to work at Walt Disney World, and then I wanted spring as my first option, and then spring advantage as my second option, and I got Walt Disney World for spring. Yeah, so that's the next portion, and then the last couple sections of the application process is basically the question about your ability to work in the US, like are you a US citizen, and then if you have any like work restrictions or limitations that they should be aware of. And then finally, the last portion of the application process is the roles. Oh my goodness. We have to take a moment of silence because roles, you really need to listen carefully to what I'm about to say. Ready? Moment of silence. All right, that's good. All right, now for roles, I'm gonna say this a million times to get it in your head. Only put down the roles that you have an interest for or you can see yourself working. Please only put down roles that you have an interest for. Even if you put it down as low interest, you're still gonna be considered. I'm gonna say that again. Only put down the roles that you have an interest for and you can see yourself working. Oh my goodness, I am so sick and tired of seeing it on the Facebook page of people being like, I got accepted, woo! And then they're like, but I'm quick service, food and beverage, and I don't want to be that. How do I switch my role? You can't, woo! You are considered for every single role that you put down. Say you put down custodial, and you put it down as low interest, you are considered for that role. So if you have no interest in that role whatsoever, do not put it down. Don't do that to yourself, okay? Because you don't want to be sad by the time you get accepted and have your role shown that your least favorite role, and you're like, I didn't think I was gonna get this. You could. So I ask you, please do your research of all the roles, consider everything, do as much research as you can. Look on the Disney website. They have a good description of every single role that's offered. Look on blogs, look on Google, look on YouTube. There's so many Disney vloggers that have so many different roles that can tell you like a description of that role. Even look on Facebook pages, like go on a Facebook page, even a past semester Facebook page, and like ask, what is this role, be like, what is monorail, what is bus greeter, like, because those aren't needed as much, but people still get them. So you might be like, I really wonder what this is. Go on a previous Facebook page and ask the people who are doing that job right now. So do your research, please. I said this already, but I'm going to say it again. You are considered for every single role that you put somewhat of an interest down. And there in the application, there's going to be like maybe 5 to 7 roles that are high demand roles. So for my program, the ones that I can remember are like quick service, housekeeping, custodial, lifeguarding. I can't remember what else, but those 4 at least were high demand roles. So those are the roles that people will be placed in more often than like character attendant, bibbidi bobbidi boutique, you know. So even if you put those roles down, even for low interest, know that you are considered for those roles and you could get placed there. So really do your research if you really do want that role. Basically, how role selection goes is that there's the list of high demand roles and then there's just the rest of the roles. And you have to put down no interest, low interest, moderate interest, or high interest for every single role. So if you're like, I really want to be a merchandise cast member and I have a high interest for that role, put it down as high interest. If you're like, I actually have an interest for custodial, but I'm not super interested in it, put it as a lower moderate interest, you know? If you have like, you don't want to be monorail whatsoever, or like watercraft or something, put that down as a no interest. Like, it's fine if you put down no interest. I put down no interest for quite a few of them. Because for example, when I was filling out my application high interest, I put down attractions, merchandise, character performer, character attendant, bibbidi bobbidi boutique, Pirates League, convention guide, and then I didn't put down any moderate interest, and then for low interest, I put down lifeguard and custodial. So those are all the roles that I put somewhat of an interest down for, whether it be high or low. And then everything else I left as no interest, and I was fine. I got accepted. I'm a merchandise cast member. Like, it's fine. Let me tell you that. Let me reiterate to you. You're fine. As long as you don't put down just one role and you think you can get that role, like say character performer, because that happened to me. I went to the character performer audition and she only put down character performer, and she showed up to the audition and she didn't make it, so she didn't get into the program. So be careful with what you put down, but only put down roles, again, that you have an interest for. And so after you select all your roles, you'll move on to the next page, and it's just going to be a review of everything that you put down. So it's going to be like your name and your work and education, all the questions they ask you, and then it's going to be like, do you want to submit this application? Does it look good? And you just hit submit, and you've submitted your application for the Disney College program. Woo! Woo! Round of applause. It's really not that long of a process. It's about 15 to 30 minutes. I think it took me about 30 to 45 minutes because my internet crashed while I took the application and I had to switch computers, and I still got it. So you guys are going to be fine. Hopefully some of these tips work for you. I think they worked really well for me, but that's just my personal opinion. But I hope that you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful. Tune in next week for the web-based interview tips. There's not as many as the application tips, but I still have a few up my sleeve. Don't forget to subscribe down below. I'm doing my Disney College program journey right now, and so that'd be awesome if you checked it out and saw, you know, what I was doing during my Disney College program. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Again, that's gonna be in the banner down below, and I will see you guys in my next daily, weekly video, and next Wednesday for the next part of my application series. All right, bye!